Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and at each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Chikara Kennedy, the founder of Chikara Power Coaching and Consulting. Chikara brings a remarkable blend of military leadership from her time as a U.S. Air Force officer, over 20 years of HR expertise at companies like Meta, and a passion for transformational coaching. Based between Washington, D.C. and Playa del Carmen, Mexico, Chikara Power Coaching, founded in 2023, empowers professional women through career transitions and leadership development using her unique power framework and cosmic alignment tools. We'll be exploring her inspiring journey, how her business transforms lives through coaching and retreats, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Chikara, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here.
It's a pleasure. I mean, an incredible background, and thank you so much for your service, Chikara. So really would love to start at the beginning for our listeners here. If you can walk us through what specific problem in the career transition or leadership development space really inspired you to start Chikara Power Coaching and Consulting.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned before, I'm really focused on all areas of transformation, but the genesis for my company was really career transformations. And I will say the start of it was my own career transformation. I started off as a military officer. I've been doing HR for 20 years in all kinds of amazing industries, amazing companies. You mentioned Meta, aka Facebook. I was at Ernst & Young for a while, Toshiba, working internationally and domestically. So I had a really amazing career. And in spite of that early career and mid and later level career success, I unfortunately was impacted by a layoff in 2023.
Wow.
So for me, that was really the first time in my career that I'd had a hard time finding a job or finding what I wanted to do next while dealing with the challenges of the market, the challenges of feeling rejected and all of the feelings that you go through when you go through a layoff. So that really was the genesis for me to just think a little bit more holistically about not just responding to things that happen or layoffs or other situations, and to really use those opportunities as opportunities to transform your career and really your life.
I love it. I love that. So this is a phenomenal platform and truly a pleasure to have you on the show. So
Yeah.
really would love to get into the nuts and bolts of what we're doing here with Chikara Power Coaching, especially around how you're generating revenue today. So if you can walk us through for our listeners what the core offer is. I know you have personalized coaching, group workshops, retreats. What is the core offer? How is it structured for your clients? And who is the ideal client? A three-part question for you there, Chikara.
Yeah, absolutely. Initially, when I first started my business, my client and my anchor client right now is a corporate client. So I work with a former coworker from Meta, and I support him in coaching for career success. So other high profile executives and senior leaders, primarily in tech, but in all different industries that haven't been impacted by job losses, looking for job transformations. So I've coached nearly 700 professionals since the time that my company started, and really helping them to find their next opportunity. So strategy calls, focusing on resume, interview prep, all the things that are necessary to launch them into the next phase of their career. So that's been my cornerstone offering, and it's really offered as a partnership with a former colleague. I also provide coaching services to private clients who are looking for transformations outside of work. So whether that be relationship transformations, life transformations, just looking for getting to the next step and finding your purpose and what you want to do. I have coaching packages for one-on-one coaching, and I'm really excited to announce that I am prepping for my first ever transformational experience that combines one-on-one coaching with a retreat experience to be held in Mexico in January.
Very cool. And so many, a variety of offerings there. So it's just incredible what you're able to bring forward for your clients there, Chikara, and clear as day with the passion and the energy that you have. I could feel it through the conversation. I know that you're really driving some real quality for your clients there. So, I mean, being that you have those offerings there and you're seeing success on that front, walk us through the acquisition side of things a bit. What are you seeing work best for you to get new clients, new leads coming in consistently, whether it's the ad side, referrals, social media? What channels have you seen be most effective?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me as a very new entrepreneur, I will say that my success has been really around successful partnerships.
Yep.
So I think coming out of the gate, one of the first things that I did is really just connect with other people in my industry, other people that I worked with, other people that I could learn from as a mentorship opportunity, which born really opportunities for partnerships. So for me, that's been the best way to really establish the foundation of my business. So I'm getting lots of referrals. I get all referrals from partnerships right now with other companies. And that's been a blessing. Absolutely. It's helped me to learn a little bit more about what I want to do. And it's poised me for the next phase of my business where I am actually doing more advertisement, not for corporate clients or for partnerships, but with private clients. And that part is challenging to say the least, but I'm up for the challenge.
I love it. So as you just mentioned, there are a lot of referrals coming in, and for more predictability, because obviously it's tough to be predictable with referrals, you're not doing more around ads, but are having some challenges with that. So if you can elaborate a bit on the challenges that you're seeing, especially for our listeners who are also going through that and what you're doing to work through those challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned before, it was absolutely a blessing. It was a wonderful and still ongoing partnership that I have with a corporate client. So that's filled my first level of my business. Now I'm doing it on my own. I've learned a lot from him. And so what I've actually really done is look for some support. So I have now assembled a small team because I can be honest, I really enjoy coaching. I really enjoy transformations, but I didn't necessarily have the knowledge or the resources to build out my marketing and to build out my sales. So I think for entrepreneurs and especially me, really focusing on knowing what I'm good at, knowing what my strengths are, and knowing where I'm not so great, and leveraging resources to help me with that. So I'm still in process. I just brought in a new virtual assistant and I'm working on onboarding her. I'm working on exploring from her perspective strategies to look at my current website, my current social media presence, and come back to me with recommendations because all the things that I'm doing, I think are great, but they're not really generating the activity that I'm looking for. And instead of me spinning my wheels, I always look for opportunities to learn from people who have expertise in the areas that I don't.
I love it. And that's the beauty of being a founder, Shakar. And I think that that's amazing to hear that from you being on the show and other founders listening to that is because, yeah, as a founder, we have to be able to wear multiple hats, yes, but also delegate, right? And I think that's a huge piece in growing and scaling is delegating the things that you're not so good at and focusing on the things that you really can provide the most quality on. So just incredible to hear that from you there. Sounds like you're still running this really as a solopreneur. You're just bringing on a VA now to get some
Yeah.
help there. So from the sounds of it, a couple of the bottlenecks you're having, Shakar, are going to be around that predictability on the lead generation side, still getting that dialed in, and then more around the sales team, having a sales team, marketing help. Those sound like the bigger bottlenecks right now for you. Are there any other ones, or are those the main ones you're trying to break through?
No, I think those are absolutely true. And what I underestimated was the change in the strategy. So initially, I'm all about transformations. And I think when you talk about career, I lost my job, I need a job right now. There is a level of urgency. There's a very clear mission. There's a really clear solve that I'm assisting clients with. So that opens up the conversation much easier. When you're talking about broad transformations, right? Where this is improving your quality of life or this is improving the way that you function in life, thinking about your purpose. I think I really didn't understand the difference in the marketing strategy that would be necessary to attract clients. And I really positioned myself as someone who had done it, showing you the way, but I really had to, and I'm still working to really refine that message, to really position it not about me and my credibility, but to really appeal to clients and say, what is it that you need right now and what can I offer to you? So that's been a real learning lesson too, outside of the operations of the lead generation and the sales and the marketing. It's really thinking about that messaging and really making sure that it's not centered on me, but it's really centered on providing value add to clients that are very clear. And sometimes that's hard when you're talking about broader transformations.
Absolutely incredible. On that front, I would love for you to paint us the picture here, Chikara. Obviously, you are in growth mode and you want to scale this thing. You're
Yeah.
breaking through a couple of those bottlenecks we just talked to. What are the top priorities for the rest of the year here? What are you laser focused on in 2025, going into 2026 to really achieve that success and that scale and that growth?
Yeah, for me, my ultra clear priority right now is my retreat. I am living between DC and Mexico. I've moved to Mexico and it's really been really super helpful for me in terms of just having the focus and really getting crisp and clear on what I wanted to do for my business. So I am hosting my first retreat Tulum in January. So I just recently tized and launched the retreat. So for me, filling those seats is the top priority. As I mentioned before, the retreat is going to be really unique in that it combines coaching prior to intention setting. So you're not just going to a retreat for a retreat's sake. You're going to have the opportunity to do coaching sessions with me before and after to really cement and integrate the experience. So for me, it's really about taking that transformation to the next level and really bringing people beyond our one-on-one conversations to have a really special experience in Mexico. So that is my number one priority.
Incredible. Incredible. Hypothetically speaking, love getting hypothetical here on the show. If we were able to snap our fingers right now, Chikara, and provide you with unlimited resources at your fingertips, what do you think you're implementing immediately for that continued growth and scale that you're looking for?
Absolutely. I have some strategic ideas around, again, the shift in my marketing. So, obviously, I think the VA is really helpful, but really thinking about building out that strategy about how I can appeal. I haven't done a lot in terms of my social media. I really need to build out my strategy on YouTube and just show myself a little bit more and show myself in the way that clients would be interested in. Right now, I've been focusing on the results and you can have this, but really having more one on one conversations and being more comfortable in front of the camera, I think would be ideal. And just support again and really looking at my strategy and it's making sure that it's aligned with who I'm targeting and what they're looking for because for some reason right now that is not the clearest message. I know I have a lot of great resources and tools and support to share, but I really am still finding ways to connect with the audience that would really appreciate them. So that would probably be my number one priority.
Love it. I love that. With that, I would love to hear from you the picture that you're seeing as far as the evolution of the industry as a whole. So, how do you see the coaching industry evolving in the coming years, Chikara, especially with your holistic approach and combining HR expertise and cosmic tools and what you're doing? What are you really doing to keep yourself at the forefront of that evolution that you're seeing?
Absolutely. So, a few things I think the industry is just taking off. There's so many things that are going on with people right now, so much fear, so much anxiety, so much uncertainty. And it feels like just so many things that are outside of our control, what's absolutely true. I mean, I think people are looking for support and a sense of empowerment in the midst of things that feel like so outside of their control. So I know that the industry and people are poised for transformations absolutely. For myself personally, being certified and staying at the top of all of my certifications, making sure that I am always aware of the trends, that I'm being educated in the tools, that I am being coached myself, that I am participating and doing a lot of the retreat and the spiritual and personal development that I'm offering to my clients is really a change maker. And lastly, I think, people have been looking for the escapes. They're looking for, oh my God, I'm so sick of work. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this. I'm going to go to a resort and drink my troubles away, right? Or I'm going to escape to this island and lose my mind for a week or two. But then you come back and your reality is still your reality. So I think this is the opportunity to say, we're all looking to get away. We're all looking to have a change of scenery. And why not combine that need with some actual tools and support so that you do get that reprieve, you do get that opportunity to get away, but you also come back with some tools to change not just how you feel when you're away, but change your overall life. When I started my journey, when I lost my job, I said, you know what? What I want is a life where I don't have to escape. What I want where I want my life to feel like a vacation. I want my life to feel like how I feel when I'm away. I'm happy, I'm excited, I have flexibility. So I think really thinking about that a little bit more holistically is something I'm really excited to see, and using a variety of tools to help people empower themselves to make that vision a reality for them.
Absolutely. And truly, it's a pleasure having you on the show here, Shakara, because I can, again, feel the passion that you have and just clear as day that you're providing that for your clients. So just incredible. And I know our listeners are hearing it just as I am and are feeling it as well. Truly, it is amazing to have you here really talking us through the journey and really where you're trying to go. So with that, I want to take us into the lightning round here before we do wrap it
Sure.
up. I have a couple more questions for you on that front. And the first is going to be around more of a tool or a resource that you're using, whether it's a cosmic alignment technique, a leadership strategy, an AI tool. What's been the biggest game changer for you this far, Shakara?
Absolutely. I'm a coach, so I think the best tool that I've had is actually working with coaches. I got into coaching because I had a phenomenal experience with a coach while I was working at Meta. And I came in thinking it was for one challenge that I was having at work. And I recognized through the power of coaching that not only was I focusing on one area to the exclusion of seeing how this fit into my life more holistically, but also that I was not really aware of all the power and tools that I actually had. So that was really a game changer for me. Of course, I love AI, I love Instagram, I love social media, I love all these tools, but there's nothing that really replaces the opportunity to connect, have an accountability partner, have someone to share perspective with, have someone to bounce ideas off of. And I really credit the coaches that I've worked with from transforming me from being the sad, scared person who just got laid off to this powerful executive who's looking to grow and develop even in areas where she's not super comfortable and doesn't know all the answers. So that for me has been a game changer.
Incredible. And then last but certainly not least here, Shakara, what is the best piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in, just heard your incredible journey and the passion that you have? What can you leave them with before we wrap up the show today?
Yeah, so many ideas, but the key is that no matter how it looks on the outside, nobody has all the answers, right? I work with incredible business leaders, mentors, entrepreneurs who've been in the game, and I look on the outside and say, wow, they've accomplished everything. And then when I talk to them, they're like, I'm still working on this. I'm still
Yeah.
working on this. I'm still developing this. I haven't figured this out. I failed in this area. So I would say the advice I give to myself and to others is to be kind to yourself and recognize that this is a journey. Nobody gets it right, and we certainly don't get it right all by ourselves. So reach out, use resources, look for support when and where you can, and celebrate the small successes. It's certainly an interesting journey, and you're definitely not alone.
Incredible. Incredible. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And Shakara, I truly can't thank you enough for coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey and your insights with us. And as I mentioned a few times, I mean, just your energy, the poise that you have, it's just everything that you bring to the table. The passion is just incredible and truly an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. Looking forward to keeping up with you and maybe having you back on the show in the future to give us some good updates. But again, thank you so much for coming on today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And also check out Chikara Power Coaching at chikarapowercoaching.com for more on their transformative services. And follow Chikara on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Chikara Kennedy. For more resources and insights, you can follow us here at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.